All right. Sorry about that, you guys. I was being extra and did a video on Facebook and it locked us out. So if you guys were watching, I apologize for that. And we'll make sure that it won't happen again. So I want to start my beginning over. This is the third time I'm doing it, but it's okay. I don't mind.
Oh goodness.
So is this thing on? Is this thing recording? I think it is. I see the white light, so it means that we are on and live, and ready. Let's go. Thank you. Shout out to TS Madison. All right. So before we get
Oh shit.
started, and start this conversation with my fellow panelists, I do want to do some advertising here in regards to who we are and what we do. First of all, this is Rain Outreach Team coming at you live.
Hi.
Hey everybody.
Hey.
Yeah,
All right. So before we get started, I do want to let you know that we are Rain. Rain is an organization that helps people living with or without HIV, living their lives fully, stigma free. So that's pretty much the premise of what we do. Right now, we have a event that's taking place for the full month of May. That is the AIDS Walk. Typically, the AIDS Walk is always the first Saturday of May. However, because of the pandemic that we are currently in, we have decided to kind of expand the walk for the full month of May. We challenge any and everybody who is watching to go out and walk in your neighborhoods, go out and walk inside of your local parks, to support someone that has past of HIV complications or the people that are currently living with HIV. That is how you can make an impact. I know other people ask, what are some other what are some other things that we can do? You can you can share, tag a friend. These posts that we're on to get that message out. Post your photos, give a shout out. Any of these things you can do to help support the AIDS Walk and the AIDS Walk initiative is totally fine. So I challenge you guys to either go outside and walk or share, tag, and post a friend. Thank you. Other things that we got in the works right now are focus groups. We have a prep focus group that we're advertising for people to kind of be a part of. Unfortunately, it's only for men that have sex with men that are black, gay, black MSM. And pretty much what this conversation or this panel or this focus group is about, it is to engage the black gay community on prep. So what that looks like is historically interventions that we create or interventions that we are a part of is created by white people, and thinking that they know exactly what we want and what we need. That is unfortunately doesn't work for us. So right now we have the opportunity to come together and create our own intervention. So we're going to be asking questions and having an authentic conversation about what we think about prep, how prep influence our community and how it doesn't influence our community, and things we need to change, and how we have to market prep for our people to kind of get more involved in it. So you'll be creating the interventions, not us. So it's important for you to come and be a part of that conversation. On the flip side of that, we also have in-depth interviews for people that are on prep. What we want to know at that particular point is, what is working for you? Why is prep working for you? How is it working? What are you doing to make it work? We want to use your plan of action and help others to kind of be more engaging on prep. So again, any and everybody, well, not any and everybody, unfortunately, but black men that are gay have the chance to sit at the table and be a part of this conversation. It is very important that you guys tap into that conversation so that it can be more effective. So I'm gonna give a couple of minutes to see if somebody have any questions or any concerns about that at all. I see we got some viewers on, so I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes to kind of see if we have any questions about that before we get started. All
Hello.
right, moving it right along. I don't see any questions popping up, and if it does, I would definitely come back to it if we have any questions come up after that. So I want to definitely start introducing our fabulous panelists. First, we have Miss Mother.
You will stop using that term. This will
Patrice.
end.
Patrice, who is our prep case manager. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. How you doing? My name is Patrice Marsh. I am the prevention case manager at RAIN. What I do is I engage people within the community. I go out and talk to people about safe sex, healthy sexual practices. And I also get people enrolled in the PrEP program and offer it to them at no charge to themselves or at minimal cost. Um, I also case manage those people that I enroll in my program. Case management means that I help them to get in school, finish high school, write resumes, get jobs, find places to live, food assistance, travel assistance, basically anything that they need to help them succeed in life and not engage in any risky behavior to be able to achieve basic needs.
Thank you for that description.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Next, we have Shawn, which is our peer outreach specialist. Can you tell us a little bit more about what that means and what that looks like? Before you start talking, let me change the title at the bottom of the screen.
Got
There we go.
it. Well, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Shawn Gray. I am the peer outreach specialist here with Rain and the crew. I pretty much specialize in harm reduction as it relates to substance abuse. So I deal with a lot of peer outreach, a lot of group supports. I also go out in the community and I do HIV and Hep C testing. I also like to educate and advocate about healthy, safe sex practices. So, you'll see me out on, either on the computer or out in the city sometimes, just being around, trying to be in the community and be a big help. So,
Thank you, Shawn. All right, next we have another Miss Mother, Bryce. Tell us about yourself.
Hey everybody, good afternoon. My name is Bryce. I'm the peer retention specialist at RAIN. So what I do is that I engage people who have been out of care. I help them get linked back to care. Or if you're newly diagnosed, I get you into care within 2 to 3 weeks of your diagnosis. I case manage you for a year. I follow you throughout the whole steps. And I'm just the person here to hold your hand through your HIV care and provide you with any assistance that I can throughout the way.
Thank you for that, Bryce. And if you are watching, feel free to share this live to your followers and your friends on your own personal page. You do have the right to do that, and we encourage that so that we can get this conversation out.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining.
Hey.
shout out to all my
right.
friends.
Patrice,
All right.
do you have any comments on your screen or that we're not seeing?
Just people joining the party and joining. Okay, so I shared it and then I watched it and then I shared it again. Like
Okay.
Bryce, I can see Bryce, but
It's just a
but
little
yeah.
delay. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
So I'm gonna actually roll it over to Shawn. Shawn will be moderating the subject of the topic today. So let's talk about sex.
Hey,
Yay!
yes. As many of
Okay.
you already know, I tend to go on my social media pages via Facebook, via Instagram, and I make a lot of statuses, asking questions and wanting feedback from the community or just my peers or my friends in general, pertaining to anything dealing with sex or anything heterosexual, anything that I may be curious about. I'm asking questions. So I recently just posted a status inquiring about why is it that people are so afraid to be openly honest about being freaky. Okay. And some people had questions about what is freaky. We're going to get into all those, those different details and topics of what people's definition and what they may think
The
is freaky.
shaming.
shaming, however you want to name it. I just say in my way. I'm just like, people just pretty much, it's almost like they have an issue with it.
Yeah.
So the question that I want to know from you guys is why do you feel as though people can't be openly honest about them being a freak? And I don't know if you want to go ahead and answer the second question with it. What is your definition of a freak? But I definitely would love to know that as well. That can kind of help you answer the question if need be.
Mm-hmm.
So when you say freak, are you meaning someone who is sexually free and open with not only how they have sex, but who they have sex with?
That's the route that I'm going in. Yes, not the freaky like someone may dress out like they may dress freaky or something like that.
That's
not
a fetish. That's a whole different thing.
Not that. So yeah.
Okay, so personally, I feel like when people have problems with people who are sexually open or freaky, I think it's because they're bitter, they're frigid, they're not having sex, and they are just judging because they're not getting any quality in their life.
Okay.
Okay. I think there's many sections to it. I think people might be afraid to express their freakiness, quote unquote, or their sexuality, because one, they might not understand. Everybody's definition of freaky is different. So, you could think something minuscule is freaky, and I could think something outrageous is freaky. And also, just personal preference when it comes to backgrounds and settings. Maybe I come from a religious background, maybe I don't. So I might be too scared to engage in that sexual conversation with you because I don't know how you're going to judge me based off the conversation.
Right. Okay. Johnny, you?
I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate because I feel like it don't have to be anybody's business to for me to be open and honest about what I do inside of the bedroom. And so just because I may not want to talk about it to individuals or post about it or be open and honest about it doesn't mean that I'm necessarily scared to talk about it. But sometimes I just have I may have a very
I'm not saying
reservative.
talk about it. I'm talking about people who are like, oh my God, that's so nasty. You a hoe, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying everybody has to talk about it. No, that's private.
But am I
talking
a
about
hoe
people who
based
judge
on my
others
body count,
for doing more than
what I do?
Bryce said, "Is he a hoe based off his body count, or is he a hoe based on what he do?"
So when it comes to that word hoe, though, people use that term very loosely. Okay.
Yes.
And the reason why I say that is because it's situations where I see people may converse with numerous people. They're not having any sexual encounters with these people. They're just having cordial conversation. And if someone is openly honest and saying, "Hey, yes, I'm talking to more than one person," you're considered a hoe.
Oh, you a hoe.
I don't see how that works.
Or it could be an action.
I don't understand why there's no such thing as dating anymore.
Who has time to date, Patrice?
Exactly.
You go out one time. Huh? You said what?
Who has time to date?
Who have time to date?
Everybody has time to date. What you mean?
If you got time to be booed up and marrying people and moving them in, you got time. You have time to date.
Exactly.
You have time to date. Let me tell you something. Let me say this. I think the reason why we got into a place where everybody is saying, "Oh, sex is so accessible now, and sex is so this," and I 100% agree with that. However, just think about like where we are in regards to our time frame. Sometimes I don't know if I'm coming or going. Sometimes I just want that nut. Like I don't have time to really date. I may see somebody that I like and I'm interested in.
That's what I mean by dating. I mean just not booing up with the first person you sleep with.
Right.
But dating has been taken to a whole new level now. People are buying gifts and they're courting as if they're in a relationship. But
I mean, courting is a thing that's supposed to happen when you're dating. That is normal dating etiquette.
Yeah.
But the problem is that people go and date or sleep with each other 2 or 3 times or for a month. Now all of a sudden that's your husband, that's your wife.
That's they.
You can't
That's
talk to somebody else
No,
while you going out with somebody
No.
else. Nigga, I don't know you. What
My
are you
issue
doing?
is not the dating.
Get out of
My
my
issue is
purse.
that you want me to be your boyfriend without acknowledging me as your boyfriend.
So you basically want. So it's basically giving.
A
I'm giving you all boyfriend vibes,
Yeah.
but no title.
Yes.
Well, why are you giving boyfriend vibes to somebody you just met? A.
Oh no.
If that's been discussed.
Then that means there's a relationship if that's been discussed.
But Patrice, you know what? You talking to people that believe in love at first sight. Like, you know,
I don't believe in love.
I believe in that. I believe in love at first sight.
I
believe in love at first sight.
Please comment, y'all.
I do not
Please
believe
tell me
in
if you believe in love at first sight.
I think love takes
There
time.
is no such
I think it's lust.
thing.
Because love takes
There
time.
is lust at first sight.
So keep that same, but take away sex. Take away sex.
If we're not having sex, there's nothing to talk about for me.
I could love you without sex.
Could you date somebody based off their personality?
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do.
That's just based. That's it. Not no sex. I'm saying personality. That's it. People will get tired of the same redundant thing.
That's
People
true.
get tired of the same thing. You're the same person this whole time. You stuck in your ways. You're not growing. You already got you just set in your ways. There's no what. I'm just taking you for who you are at that point. Like, we're not having sex. I like you for you. Like,
and if you're cool with that type of relationship, more power to you. I am not. I'm not
because my thing is that I don't have to be in a relationship with you to have sex with you.
If we're not compatible, if we don't see the same way, whatever. Peace out, homie.
Right.
Catch the deuces.
Man.
After that, then we can talk about for personalities and all that other shit. That takes too much fucking time to get to know somebody and do all that. By that time, you done spent time together and got used to each other and hung out. And no, that ain't how that works.
So
Quan O'Neill said, "Love at first sight does not exist."
Thank you. It does
You're
not.
right, nephew. It don't.
It does not.
It does not. Let them know.
It does.
You know what? And this is the thing. I'm very optimistic about things like that because I don't like to be the type of person that say, hey, just because from my experience, I may feel as though, hey, I may never even experience love at first sight. So I'm going to say that I don't believe in it because I've never felt it. I've never had it. I never experienced it. I'm the type of person, if I've never had it, experienced it, I'm thinking, okay, maybe it could possibly happen. Who knows? You have to think. You have to just be open-minded about stuff like that. Who knows? Somebody may come into my life that just
Go ahead.
For me, love is a specific thing. It's understanding someone. You can't understand or know someone if you just saw them. That's what love means to me. So for me, there's no way that any of that is going to happen when I first look at you.
Quan said, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bryce. I apologize.
My thing is, I don't like.
You better test drive.
I don't beat around the bush, and I don't BS. When I look at you, when I see you, I already know what I want for you. I know if I want to fuck, date, or if I just want to be your friend. So when I'm asking somebody, what are you looking for? And they be like, I don't know. I'm just chilling. No. If you're getting on a dating app, if you're on the app, you need to know what you're there for. Don't go somewhere.
On a dating app, they want to have sex.
Yeah. But also, no, if that's what you want, say it. I state my claim. What do you want? This is what I want from you.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't beat around the bush with people who be like, I don't know. Let's just see where it goes. No, fuck that. What the fuck do you want?
Now, winding that back to the question though.
Mm-hmm.
But hold on, before we go,
why people aren't openly honest about wanting to be as sexual because of certain situations like that. They don't want to fall in love. They don't want a relationship. Maybe they don't.
I don't think it's that. I think it's rejection. I think it comes from if I actually tell you what I want, then you might not give me what I want. So I'm gonna let you believe that I'm gonna give you what you want so I can get what I want. And I don't beat around the bush. Like, if I'd let you know what I want for you when I see you. And if you can't do that, then that's it.
If I'm test driving a car before I buy it, trust and believe I'll be test driving a person.
That's on period.
I like that comment.
That's
somebody.
I like
that comment. Was lit.
I like that comment.
Okay.
Preach.
It's another one.
Lust at first sight is real common, but not love.
Hey, Tamara. Yes, Tamara.
And there's nothing wrong with lusting after someone when you first see them. People have this idea that to look at someone sexually is wrong. It's not.
Yeah, that's not wrong.
It's making unwanted sexual advances that's wrong. But you
But
can appreciate what's there.
yeah, but I do think that I'm very much of I'm very much of a fairy tale girl. I do like princesses, and I do believe in love at first sight. My Prince Charming, if once I see him, I'm going to see him. I'm going to fall in love with him, and that's just that.
But is that
That's,
not setting yourself up for failure?
you know what?
See, I think you know
I
what.
would get my heart break. I would get my heart broken and be out here loving like I never got it broken before. Love.
I think the reality of the situation, people try to paint this picture like it's supposed to be a fairy tale. Like you're literally supposed to fall in love literally right there when you see the person. Like as soon as you see them, you automatically supposed to just fall. I think it's a course of time. It's like love at first sight doesn't mean like, oh, I love you right just at this point. But I do see myself maybe in the near future loving you. That's how I view it. So I don't see the same aspect of people seeing it like I like as soon as I look at you, I'm automatically just, oh, I love you and I'm about to marry you. No, it's not that. It's like, oh, I really like you. I can see myself loving you, but it's not giving that. It's
But the first time you see them,
different from someone that's you meet somebody and you start talking to somebody or whatever, and with over a course of time, like maybe 3 months down the line, all of a sudden y'all in a relationship. Then somebody say y'all rushed because y'all jumped in a relationship. Y'all didn't take time to get to know each other, right? I don't like stuff like that. I don't like that.
But see, when you first see each other, you don't know that person. You're not judging them based on personality. You're judging them based off their looks. So you be like, I can see myself loving you. Can you see yourself loving them because you actually like them as a person, or you see yourself loving them because they look good?
So you literally about to link with somebody that you never even about to like. First, you had to have conversation prior to y'all linking.
Mm-hmm.
So either the conversation intrigued you enough to make you want to go meet up with this person, right?
Yeah.
So when you link up with them, you see them in person. It's always giving everything that you wanted and more.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, you know. I mean, it's just that's just I don't be seeing it.
But I do think that I think that plays a role in regards to like me being open and honest about how freaky I am or how freaky I may not be because I don't want the person that I'm in love with at that time frame. And who's to say that love don't change every single day? Like I think that I can love somebody and they do something for me to fall back out of love with them. Or me to fall out of love with them, which is totally fine, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, I wouldn't want my past of me being a freak to change the view of the person that I am interested in at that particular moment. And I think that's why a lot of people are scared of kind of openly talking about it because they are unaware or they don't know what the other party freak level really is.
See, I'm not going to tell you how much freak I am. I'm just going to show you because I don't know how to express it in words. Like, I don't know how to say what I want to do to you. So I'm just going to show you what I want to do. Like, when people are asking me, like, so what you into? Nigga, I'm going to show you. Like, I don't know what to say.
Right. This is not a conversation.
It's not a conversation.
Why would you write an outline to... You don't write down the summary of the section you're about to have. That's silly.
Yeah. It's like, boy, I'm about to tell you. That's it.
I know another answer to that question in regards to why people are so scared to have a conversation about it. I think that like sex as a whole is so taboo of a conversation anyway. So, you know, heaven forbid you like to get your souls tucked and you like to lick the little gooch part, you know, that it's right underneath the balls. Heaven forbid that you say that. Because we haven't really got an understanding or feel comfortable with talking about sex as a whole anyway. And I think that is a very important that a lot of people kind of miss in regards to why people are not comfortable talking about what they like, what they don't like sexually.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I want to know how you guys introduced to sex because I think that plays a major role into how you're able to express your freakiness, express your sexuality. So how were you introduced to sex?
Before we answer that question, I do want to acknowledge Tamara. Kamara stated that sometimes I get nervous with sharing how freaky I am because it may deem too much by who I'm trying to freak. I do agree. She also states that,
Hello.
but because I am an older woman, that they really do
Into.
not. Oh, because I'm into.
She's
Thank you.
into older women.
Thank you. Because I'm into older women, they really do not be as down as I try to as I'm trying to do new stuff. Agreed.
That I definitely would agree with that.
Period.
Sometimes you can see. My thing is, I feel like sometimes when you meet a person that you know that it's not going to be there's not going to be anything further than sex. You limit yourself and put restrictions on the sex because at that point you don't want that person to judge you based off of your level of freakiness at that point. But had it been
Right.
somebody that you may be long term with, or if it's your lover, somebody your sex your what do you call it? Friends with benefits. It's one of your friends with benefits, somebody that you can get down and you might want to bring sex toys in. This person may be cool with it. You may want to bring another person in. That person may be cool with it because y'all been with each other for a long period of time to the point where you understand sexually what it is that you want. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. I completely understand. I don't. But I also agree with Tamara, especially as a female. It's very difficult uh, in any relationship, but in a heterosexual relationship with a man because they think they're supposed to be the one leading the sexual front. So it makes it very difficult to tell them, no, I don't want to do that.
I want to do this.
Do this. Let me show you the video I found.
I like this, but like, yeah.
Right. I understand that. That makes a lot of sense. And so you actually, Patrice, introduced us to our next topic. Do social norms affect the way we view sex?
Yes.
Oh God, yeah.
Of course.
If you're I feel like because with the whole thing about roles, if you're bottom, you're supposed to be the feminine one. If you're the top, you're supposed to be the masculine one. So dealing with sex is already like certain aspects or certain different expectations when what you're supposed to do. Because if you're a top, you're not supposed to want to get your penis sucked.
Yeah.
If you're a top, top, you want to get your butt played with.
Also, being in church, I just learned that sex is supposed to be between a man and woman. You're supposed to do it in the bed, missionary, 4 times a week. That's it.
Oh my God, what?
That's what the youth pastor told us. I was like, are you serious?
4 times a week.
4 times in the bed, missionary. That's it.
Get out. Are you serious?
Well, I mean, there are a lot of religions that preach missionary being the only position that is approved by God. And some people, like when you look at Puritans and the people that founded this country, they only had sex for procreation. They didn't have sex for fun. They didn't have sex because they were horny.
Your phone is breaking up so bad, girl.
Patricia, your phone breaking up bad.
It's breaking up bad. Right, I'm laughing at 4
I see it now.
I'm waiting right now, y'all. Y'all comments right now. Y'all got me waiting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not keeping up with nobody's comments. 4 times a week.
That laugh.
4 times a week, that's it.
4 times a week. So Quan says, I'm gonna post his up right quick while Patrice fixing her phone. Quan says, I have no issue discussing how much of a freak I can be. Everyone isn't worthy of my experience, so I look at it as is.
True. That's definitely true. Everybody's not worth all that. You can't get the full works.
Yeah.
it ain't for everybody.
You just gotta get a sample.
Right.
You can't get the whole pie.
That's right. We also got T.
I think he was talking about Patrice.
Patrice.
Yeah, I think
But one Patrice is still breaking up really, really bad.
The Apple phone, baby, I know.
Do social norms affect the way that we view sex? So I do think that this is something that is affected by the ways we view sex. I think that, like Shawn said, traditionally, as it relates to homosexuality, in that community, the it there was this thing called a soft top
And mass bottom.
I remember the
and a
Soft top
mass
and mass
bottom,
bottom.
and I think I really really like those interchangeable titles. I guess because traditionally we've been all kind of programmed to say top, bottom, verse, which is totally fine and things like that. But we always want to add a quality to that action. So because he's a top, he's masculine. Because he's a bottom, he's feminine. And verse kind of flip flop. What kind of fit in where they fit, kind of fit in where they fit in. So um these new terms that are coming up and us, I think how we are understanding ourselves and our body. I'm top, but I can be feminine. So what? Um, I'm a bottom, but I can be masculine. So what? These things. So these very interchangeable terms and how we using them and how we deleting, taking out puzzles and putting puzzles together. I think we're starting to kind of break that. We have a lot of work to do, of course, but I do think that we're starting to kind of like slowly but surely like actually chip away of those social norms of a top being masculine and a bottom being feminine. I do think that conversation is starting to shift and starting to change.
Quanta called it a fem top.
A fem top.
You know, I mean, it is what it is. I look at it as like, I mean, just like you said, if just because I may go in the club, I may dip and twist and vogue a little bit, that doesn't make what I like sexually. Like, I don't understand why that has to interchange like with that, or because the fact that I may like playing video games and I'm kind of laid back and I'm chill, but I like to get my butt played in. Why is that a problem?
Right.
Like, I don't understand. Like, it's just
this is a good one.
yes.
What happened to just being gay or lesbian? People always want to go on and add the extras. Younger people with the LGBT community have added so much to just being gay. Girl, get out of here with that. So listen. No, but Tamara actually
my best friend.
No, Tamara actually bring up a really, really good point that because here's the thing, and a lot of the old gays kind of have this issue as well with adding letters to to that changing the I get what she's saying. However, what I want you to think about and realize is that as we, especially the Black community, start to understand mental health a lot more, and understand gender fluid and what that looks like, understanding sexual identity, understanding so there's so many things that are coming out, not that they are new, but we have a better understanding of what those look like and what that means. And we want to include that whole spectrum inside of that LGBTQ plus. So I get what you're saying. But I think it's just a way to kind of include everyone because everything that LGBT was so black and white. You had to fit into this category to be a part of this category, and that was not correct. If you was a top, you had to fit into that masculine category, or you were not traditionally a good top. So us switching things and taking away from puzzles and putting puzzles back together, I think added to, and this is of course my opinion, this is not factual. I think added to our definitions of what we are. You can't tell me because I want a top that I have to be masculine and wear a beard and wear a fitted hat. That ain't everybody's reality. So I think that kind of help kind of break down that traditional box that we have put ourselves in. Y'all can definitely hone in on it if y'all would like.
I think that's true. Being older, I remember seeing a lot of that. Even down to people that were entertainers they want to say, "Oh, you're not pretty," something like that. Shit like that.
I didn't hear nothing she said.
Yeah, your live is really your sound is really bad. Try logging out and logging back in, Patrice. Um, so that was a good topic. That was a good comment, Tamara. I actually liked the text. A lot of people have been saying things like that for a while actually regarding that.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things that we wanted to talk about, and I'm gonna let Shawn introduce this, was slut shaming.
Yes, slut shaming. Oh God, y'all know we hear about this a lot. And some of us don't know what slut shaming is, and we have different definitions of slut shaming. I feel like a lot of times people critique people or are just in other people's business, and they feel as though they have to call someone a slut or a whore based off of body count, numbers of people you may talk to, your sexual experience or desires with people. Me personally, I've never really fed into the whole slut shaming thing because I mean I've had situations to where people may have judged me as far as me being a slut, but let's just get on that. Like Bryce, like how do you feel about the whole slut shaming thing? Like have you experienced it? Have you seen one of your friends experience it? Or
I've definitely seen it, but majority of time is with women. Women being slut shamed about how many partners they have. Most of the time, when I see slut shaming in the LGBT community, it's about somebody being positive and still having sex, or
good point.
Well, I think it's dumb because it's like people want somebody that knows what they're doing in the bedroom. How are you supposed to not know what you're doing in the bedroom if you don't have multiple partners? You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's dumb because you want somebody to please you, but people have to learn how to please. So nobody's just born just good at sex. Like it takes time. It's something that needs to be learned. In order to learn
Practice make perfect.
Your practice make perfect. In order to learn, you got to have multiple partners. You got to have multiple experiences. So it's really dumb. But I do feel like it affects women more than it affects men because men use sex as a hierarchy. It's basically like this game of how many virgins can you collect. And if you're not collecting that many virgins, then you just like
you're not hot. Like you're not hot. So you're not that man. Like you
exactly.
And I was saying I would love to have like a heterosexual guy, a cisgender guy that can give us his point of view from that. Because I always wanted to know, why do men even feel the need to slut shame women when they basically typically do the same thing now? Or they've been doing it.
A term that I used to hear a lot is like homie hopping. So like a dude could smash all your girlfriends, right? Like there'll be a group of girls and he can have sex with all of them. But if you a girl and you slept with one dude and y'all fell off and you slept with his friend,
you a hoe. You a hoe.
That's it.
You a slut.
You was hoe. You was slut. This and that.
Calling you all types of BITCHs.
They talking about you in the group chat.
But what I just don't see the whole point of going in between that, like with the male. What would we call that in the whole like homosexual lifestyle? Like it won't be. Would we still use the term slut shaming for men sleeping with men, or would we just call them a hoe? Like, or like what term?
I don't know because I hate to say this. In the LGBT community, sleeping with your friend is kind of common.
Huh?
Talk about it. In the heterosexual community,
let's talk about that.
No, we need to get into that.
Let's talk about that.
Because let's talk about that. Let's talk about it.
When my
sleeping with your friends is common.
When my ex, he used to accuse me of sleeping with my other gay friend Dominique all the time. So every time I was with Dominique, he'd be like, "What y'all doing? What y'all doing? Y'all fucking, y'all messing around." Because he was fucking his friends. So he thought that by me being with Dominique that we were messing with you, but that wasn't the case. Dominique's just my friend and we just hanging out. But since he was fucking his friends, and I seen that a lot with my own eyes too. It's like, that's my best friend. Yeah, we used to mess around, but that's it. Because they'll be telling me I want to date guys, and I'm like, "You ever been with your buddy?" It's like, "Yeah, I slept with my friend, but like, it wasn't even nothing like that." And I'm just like,
Listen, I just had this conversation. That's crazy. I just had experience today because I had one of my homies hit me up on Instagram, and I had posted a little story, and I was like, I don't want to sleep alone tonight, this, that, and the third. And he hit me up, and he was like, well, you don't have to. And I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, well, you could have cuddled with me. And I'm like, but you my friend.
You my
And he's
friend.
like, so I'm like, but I don't cuddle and I don't have sex with my friends. Like, when I get into bed with somebody and I cuddle with them, there's going to be an erection that's going to happen. I don't need to be doing that with my friends. So we don't need to be in the same bed with each other. Like, I don't sleep with my friends. He's like, no, that's cool. Like, I sleep with my friends. You go that way, the door, because I don't sleep with my friends. I don't do that. I just don't. And I feel like now, like half of the time, half of the people that hang with each other in these little cliques, these little groups now, they all mingle and mingle with each other. And they all close with each other. They all know each other's business. So they all stick together.
Okay, so I don't think that that's always the case. But however, I do not think that it is a problem to that you have a friend, a good friend that you know, and y'all are just good friends, no relationship coming by it. Y'all can hang out with each other. Y'all can go to the mall together. Y'all can go to a movie together, and y'all can also have sex together at some point in time as well, and not feel some type of way about it. I have encountered those relationships with some people. They are generally my friend. We are friends. We can go out and have a good time as friends. We can go to the club and cut up together and be just that. And on the flip side of that, we may have a sexual reaction or sexual action, the time frame. It can wake up the next day and not feel no type of way. I don't think that that's a problem. I don't think that depending on how mature you are, depending on where you are in your life, it can create a problem. But depending on who you are, that can be something that is neutral or fine.
So you telling me we fucking best friends now?
Say what? I have fucked the best friend, yes,
and it's okay,
and it was fine, and we are continued and remain best friends.
Has it ruined the relationship between you, or like do y'all?
Nope. And there's no, because we're friends first. We're friends first.
I'm like, okay, like Quan just said, like me, I'm the same way. No, he said, no, I'm not emotionally stable enough for that.
Me neither. I'm not emotionally stable enough for that. I'm not.
Let me say this.
Is her screen froze?
Yeah, it's messing up really bad. I know she's trying to make it. Her face is priceless. I'm sorry, Patrice, but this face, I have to do it to you. It is priceless.
Oh my god.
I think certain things, especially when it comes to sexuality, should be separated. And I think once you have sex with somebody, it crosses a special line, a different line that's just weird. It's not weird. It's just like, you're my friend, and that's what it is. You're my friend, and that's it. Who my friend? I don't sleep with my friend, so who I'm sleeping with is not my friend. Do you know what I mean? So I don't even use the word friends with benefits. I say buddy. That's it.
Because I'm friends now with people that I've had
we just
sexual encounters with before. Does that still count? Like if we've had sex, we're not the best of friends. We're like associates. Like we'll speak.
Oh, we associates. We fuck each other.
But we're not the best of friends though.
No, we just high and by. We see each other. We messed around. That's it.
Patrice said I took her out, but she's still in the conversation. She says, it has ruined every friendship that she's had sex with a guy, and it was not because of her. So any friends? So I just want to create content for that because I know she's not here to kind of go into deep with what she was saying. But Patrice is a heterosexual female that has sex with men. So she was stating that every guy friend that she's had sex with, it has ruined the friendship, and it ruined the friendship not on her part but on the guy's part. So I wish she was kind of here to kind of dive into that a lot more because I definitely want to hear her perspective. But she's trying to get her life and stuff worked out.
I'm pretty sure they probably call feelings.
Yeah, that's what I said. Call feelings.
They probably caught feelings within that. And like Quan said on his thing here too, like boundaries. Like at what point are there boundaries? I feel like within a friendship, like I don't mind my friend. Like my friend can lay on me my best friend if he wants to. He can lay his head on my shoulder. We can lay on the same couch or whatever. I fall asleep in his bed on one side. He fall asleep on the other.
Yeah.
We not about to sit and be.
No.
I catch a hard on and I want to grind. Like I like when I get in the morning. In the morning, as a man, I have a hard on, so I like to kind of grind in the morning a little bit when I get
Men
up,
are
kind
emotional.
of get that little feeling going. So you know, like I don't want to be grinding on my best friend. Like that's not what we need to be doing. Like no.
So Quan also asked you, Shawn, the person that you've had sex with and are now friends, would you have ever have sex with them again?
Don't even nothing to hesitate on. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Mm-hmm.
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Then it's not.
I would.
Good.
I would.
But we're not. But
I said we're not like the best of friends. So it's like
we're not buddy. We just. I'm in your city. What's up?
Hey friend, when I see you, what's up? You like what's up? Like what's cool? I'm gonna make it known. Hey friends,
that's not an issue with me.
So
if you become friends after the sex,
Kwashi said if we had sex before we became friends, that's not an issue with me.
That's okay. That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. If you was a situation before the whole friendship, and then we became
okay. So if you had sex first, then became friends. That's different.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about if we were friends first, then we had sex, because then that gets weird.
And again, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna hop back into this as well. I have had friends in the past that, like I said, we have been good friends, best friends, kiki kaka. I hold this girl purse, and she holds mine. And we're able to get down and dirty. Wake up the next day. What you want to eat, girl? Girl, right? And go out and go about our day, because I think at a very early age, for me, I think that I took out the importance. Now, there's a difference between sex and making love, first and foremost. Okay,
agreed.
There's a difference. So I do understand that line that you guys are talking about, but I think that at a very early age, I think that for me, I'm gonna read Patrice's post in a second. I believe that for me, I separated being able to a sex being something that just happened, or a sex being something of importance and valuable to that relationship.
Yeah.
Now if we're making love, that's totally different. Now I may be, trying to catch feelings after that. But sex is sex and things like that.
I think it's important for me to separate it and put it in compartments, because I like having one sexual partner at a time.
Yeah.
So if I want to fuck somebody new, I don't want to mess with you no more. So if you're my friend, I already put you like in a category as my friend. Not as somebody
Patrice, I want to
sleep with, because I want to continue being friends with you, because I like you as like my friend. You're my good friend.
Right.
So I think that's the issue within myself, because I like having one partner like at a time.
Patrice said, I don't look at sex as a relationship thing. Agreed. It is as natural as breathing, but if you are a passionate person, the sex can get misunderstood. You having fun, they fall in love. That's true, Patrice.
Patrice is reading me. Patrice reading me.
Let me tell you something
right now. I know how to have passionate sex and not catch feelings. Some people don't.
Yeah,
I've learned. I had to learn that though. It was a learning process for me, because when I have sex, I'm very passionate about. Like I do my thing. I'm very for real. I'm just being honest. Like when I get in the bed, like I'm really into it. I'm gonna make sure I need to make sure I'm fulfilling your pleasures. What you need to be taken care of, I'm making sure that I'm doing that, and making sure I'm taking care of me too. So like, not knowing that at the time, I was catching feelings for these people, like, and they really were just looking at it in the sense like, this is just sex to me. And I'm like, okay, like you need to be my boyfriend. Like, you see what I just did? I just gave you this work.
Regina said, I do not share. Hell no. I know
that's right, Regina. Okay. Don't share.
Count me out. Count me out.
Do not share.
Count me out.
I want to talk about that though.
Yeah.
Being in a relationship and inviting person into your bedroom.
Oh. It's another level of freaky. And is that looked bad upon, or what is that?
When we go with that term freaky though, like freaky to me, like using sex
Oh,
toys, doing sex, using
I'm sorry.
candy.
Hold on 1 second. 1 second. Before we go into that, I do want to read this because this adds substance to what Patrice was talking about.
Okay.
So Patrice said, I'm not reading, I'm just speaking from experience. I have had dudes tell me you can't fuck everybody like that. That's right.
We've had this conversation. I know what you're talking
Yeah, you
about. Yeah,
can. But you can't though,
understandable.
because some people are crazy.
That's right.
What my
But
But
today,
that's
what
I'm
but
at the
that's
house every night in the unmarked car.
but if that's
Listen,
just
I had to
naturally
let
your
somebody
sex
go
game,
because
then
I started
what?
catching feelings.
I
It
don't
got to the
know.
point when it was like, yeah, you my boyfriend, right? No.
no.
Oh.
No, I'm not.
You would have people
Oh.
acting up on you, acting like y'all had
Yeah.
sex. The next day they get mad at you because you're not calling and texting them. It was just
Yeah.
sex. It was just sex. Like that was it. Like we're not supposed to continue this conversation and be cordial all day the next day. We're gonna do what we're gonna do. Leave me alone.
Now, see, there's a difference. Now, if you my good Judy, I can
A
talk to you all
friend.
day. Yeah, if you my good friend,
Oh,
we just you know what I'm saying? We just laid down and had sex with each other, but tomorrow we going to the movies, right?
so we getting up and we lounging all day with each other.
I mean, I'm gonna tell you something. If I have a good friend that's gonna come and lounge with me anyway, that's totally fine. Like if like I'm not changing it because we just fucked. I'm not changing anything in our relationship. We're gonna continue to do the same thing. So if we lounge beforehand and we were able to lounge on the couch and watch a movie all day or go out and eat and things like that and be fine, I'm not changing that because of that moment that we shared. That moment was very special for both of us, and I cherish that. But I don't have to change my relationship with you because of that. Like I want to be friends, things like, and I don't, and so that's why I do think it is important to have those conversations. Though you can't just have go into things like that and do them without communication with the other party because it gets confusing.
You know a
But
question I would hate to ask you in the morning? What
Who?
are we?
what we about to eat at?
Hey, Bryce, you know what my
Yes.
response will be?
What?
So what you about to do?
Well, what's your plans today?
What's the plans today? Because right.
I gotta go to work.
But what are we? Don't play.
but
But you ain't coming. So yeah, like I mean, just getting back into the whole norm thing. I'm just saying, like, is it targeted just towards females? I don't feel like it is targeted in that direction. It's slut shaming deals with men, women, gay, straight, doesn't matter. We all deal with it. How we
Right.
deal with it though is a different story. But I don't feel like someone should be judged based off of their sexual desires, what they want, based off of just sex. Period. So that's my opinion when it comes to it.
Yeah. And people that are watching and that are commenting and that are engaged in the conversation, I have a question for you guys, and please feel free to kind of answer that inside of the comments. Have you ever been slut shamed, and do you care to share that story with us?
There we go. Have you been slut shamed? Has somebody judged you based off of the number of people you had sex with, or who you had sex with, or because what you like to do sexually?
I'll share a story.
Go ahead while we're waiting for the comments to come in.
Oh my God. So
Do I have to put my bang back?
yeah.
Okay.
So this is home. This was homecoming 2017. Boom, boom, boom. So, I kicked it with dude or whatever. I went to his apartment. I really wasn't paying attention. We did our thing, whatever. So I started talking to, I got hit up by another dude the next day. So I go back to the apartment complex. And I'm like, oh, they live in the same apartment complex, whatever. So I go to the apartment and I'm like, oh, this looks real familiar. They roommates.
Talk about it.
They roommates. So the first roommate, he found me on Twitter. He said, oh, damn, so you just gonna fuck me and my roommate. And I was just like, I didn't know y'all lived together. It was too late. I was already in the apartment. We did the damn thing. So that's the only time I think I've been close to slut shaming, because I fucked the guy and his roommate. And it wasn't at the same time, but
Quan states, nobody knows enough about my business to slut shame me.
Period. That's
Keep
good.
it that way. Keep it that way. Keep your
Keep it
business.
that way.
right.
Yeah. Especially what you're doing sexually. That's privately. Like that's. But I guess more so my thing was just like because you have people that's open that do not mind discussing and talking about sex, but they get judged for
You
being
know what,
so
Quan?
open and talking about it.
I feel like you ain't hitting it right. Let me tell you why. Because if you get a bitch or a person that you hitting it right, they want to brag about that dick. I'm sorry. They want to brag about that.
They are.
Period.
Period.
I think that for me, no, in all seriousness, no, I think that that's how slut shaming starts coming a thing because you are hitting it right and hitting it right with multiple people, and they're all talking about it. So now multiple people kind of know your business.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that is a thing too. I think that a lot of times people don't know how to keep their mouth shut. Like if we having sex and we've had an encounter, you don't need to know, or you don't need to go and tell your friends that you had sex with me.
But see, Daquan's defense, people would try you. Because I remember when I was in high school, I had a stud. She came up to me and told me, yeah, I heard about you. And I was like, what you hear about me? I was not messing with nobody at high school. I was not messing with nobody at Hardin. So I was like, what you hear about me? I wasn't fucking nobody. She was like, yeah, I just know that you be getting down. And I'm like, girl, first of all, I already heard about you because I heard that you still be getting dick and be giving these other girls chlamydia, but
oh
we're not
wow,
gonna go there. You don't know me, I don't know you. So to Quan's defense, like people might not know your business, but somebody can make
somebody still make an accusation about it.
And now people come
right?
up to you talking about, I heard about you. And
That's
like,
true.
There's nothing to hear about.
That's true. Kwashi says people judge me based off the statuses that I make on my page, but with no actual facts or receipts. Get out of here. That's true.
That's true.
Shawn.
And so I'm speaking from experience with that.
Yes, you are.
On my social media, and I tell people this all the time. I'm very authentic to who I am. And I'm very open about a lot of things. And I like to talk about things that people are scared to normally talk about. So when I go posting something on my Facebook page, I get hella inboxes. Oh, why did you post it? Why are you always talking about you being single? Why are you talking about you being horny? Why are you always talking about this and the third? It's my social media page. I post what I want to post based off my mind thoughts or what I feel as though I want to get off my chest, because sometimes what I may be thinking about, I may not be able to express this in a certain way. So I go to social media looking for other people to give their input sometimes. And sometimes I just don't care. So it's what it is.
Another comment was saying, and I do agree with this, and Shawn, I want you to kind of like actually revert back to this conversation. Okay. Shawn was saying something earlier that I super agree with. The definition of freaky and who you sleep with are two different things. Yes. 100% agree. Yes. I do think that the junk of our conversation has been about body count. Yes. However, I think that freakiness is not judged by your body count. Freakiness is judged by how well you can or what you do in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. And that can be measured by case by case basis. So what I may think is freaky, Shawn may think that's totally normal to him. Mm-hmm. So freaky is I think the word freaky is a very loosely term. I mean, I think it can change based on the person. Pretty much is what I was trying to say.
And so like when I was saying freaky, so for me, my definition of like freaky, like I said, bringing in toys in the bedroom, using candy, lingerie, dressing up, playing, doing role plays, things of that sort. Being freaky like that in the bedroom is what I was getting at. Like he said earlier too, who you sleep with and how many people you sleep with does not define you being freaky. That has nothing to do with, even if you are having a threesome or orgy, that doesn't still define to make you freaky because of how many people that you're having sex with.
Because you can still have sex with 20,000 people and still have bad sex.
And I hope one of the people tell you if you I hope they tell you if it's that bad, but definitely. So like, people get like talking about sex toys. People get nervous about talking about sex toys. What you may like, some people may like anal beads or to play with something, a cock ring or something around, during sex, and you get judged like, oh, you real freaky because you using poppers and stuff, doing sick things of that. Like I've heard so many different comments when it comes to this whole freak thing. Like, and I just wanted to know why, you know, people would just, why is it so hard to openly express that? If I'm dealing with somebody and say, hey, listen, I got a little prostate massage. I put, I want to put that in while I'm smashing, or I'm getting some butt. Oh, bro, you with some freaky stuff? Yeah, that's freaky to me. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being transparent. I'm just saying.
Freaky equals the ability to take the soul.
Snatching. Snatching the soul.
Freaky.
Regina says it's okay to be a freak sometimes. Need to be one.
I feel like it opens up doors in the bedroom for you to keep exploring and making you want to just, be intrigued by the sex and not get bored with it. Don't nobody want to keep doing missionary and you laying down on your back and somebody standing on top of you riding the whole time. That gets boring. You want to get stupid boring sometimes in the bedroom and get real crazy and think of ideas and keep it spontaneous. Because that's just the way they need to roll. I'm just being honest. That's the way it need to roll. Like, try something different. Go get some candy or something and suck a little, I love people, try something different. Get some sour candy. Might make your mouth wetter. You never.
My God, have you ever seen that post when that girl, she wanted her boyfriend to put on a ninja costume for her birthday while they had sex? He shamed her on social media. He took a picture of her and said, she mad at me because I don't want to put on this dumbass costume to have sex. And my thing is, why can't you just put on the costume? Like,
some people not with it. Preferences.
That's right. Preference. It's all about preference and communication and maintaining that communication. I do. So we didn't get a lot of people to kind of share their stories, which is okay. I get it. That story was, or that question was, have you ever been slut shamed? And you defining that in whatever way that makes you feel. I do feel like slut shame is something that is very selective as well, or suggestive as well. So, if you feel like that has happened to you, if you ever experienced that, please say yes, no, maybe so, or kind of give us a little brief description of what they look like, and we can kind of talk about that if you would like.
Have y'all ever been slut shamed?
So I have been slut shamed, yes. I've been slut shamed a couple of times. And I'm gonna tell you how I got over that. So there was a time frame in my life where I was extremely, I would call myself as a flame pop. Okay, and that is not shaming anybody else. That name is so empowering for me as a person, and if you know me back then, you would know why that is empowering for me. But I was looking myself a flame pop, and I got with a person that kind of showed me different things and things like that about life and whatever case may be. As a result of that relationship, whenever I got out of that relationship, I wanted to see the world. I wanted to see the world. I wanted to see what the world had got for me. And let me tell you, this person had changed my style. He changed the way I dress. He changed a lot about me. Because he wanted to like me inside of his own. He wanted me to be seen inside of his image, which was fine. It was a good change for me. But that's what happened. So after we broke up, like I said, I wanted to see the world, and I created a entity to get through that breakup. While creating this entity to get through this breakup, that entity allowed me to see the world and things like that. What happened was, after I had got through exactly what I needed to get through as a result of that relationship, the entity would not leave. It stayed because I was liking the new attention that I was getting, because I was able to get another caliber of gays or boys that was interested in me. And I had liked it that. And I wrote that I wrote that like, oh, okay, I'm gonna sleep with you, I'm gonna get you. I tried to keep it quiet because I'm not an open person in regards to who I have sex with anyway. But like I said, because I was hitting it right, they talk to each other. Okay, whatever case may be. So as a result of that, I was getting, oh, he's a hoe, he's sleep around, or I would never be a person that nobody would want to get serious with because of that. And at that time frame, I didn't care because no, I didn't want to be serious with nobody in the first place. I was doing exactly what I wanted to do. And whether you knew about me or not, you still slept with me. So it was what it was. Um, so that was a time where I experienced slut shame, and how I combated that. There was a person that I met, um, and he told me that it's okay to be a slut first and foremost. Um, he was a lot older than I was, but I looked up to him, and he was Hispanic, and he said to me, nobody can ever make you feel ashamed for something that you enjoy doing. Nobody should ever make you feel ashamed for something that you enjoy doing. I'm gonna say that one more time. Nobody could ever make you feel ashamed about something that you enjoy doing. And that's something that he kind of helped me kind of actually look at and be all like, okay, this makes sense to me, and things like that. There's a comment that popped up that I want to address. Opinion. Slut shame is a part of rape culture, and I believe all cisgender women have experienced it, if they admit it or not. So this topic is so deep, and I definitely wish Patrice was on here to kind of hone in on this conversation, because as a male, as a gay male, I do not like to. I don't want to represent that particular demographic and speak and. But I'm going to hone in as best as I can, and I want you guys to kind of hone in as best as you can as well. I feel like, as it relates to rape culture or rape culture, that just because a woman likes to wear a short dress and a crop top, that introduce her being a slut, or say it's okay for a man to approach her and to be all up on her and to grab on her and things like that, because she is viewed as a slut, right? And I think that a lot of times when as something will happen as a result of that woman get raped, or that she get roofied, or something as a result of happen as of that. A lot of people look at her before they look at the man and say, "Oh well, she was look what she had on. She was asking for it," or look how she carried herself. And that has nothing to do with her as an individual at all. So I think that that was something that I got out of that comment that Chelsea made.
I also want to get into that sex workers are owed consent too. There's this theory that if you're a sex worker, specifically prostitute or stripper, that you're not owed consent because that's how sex is how you make your money, and that if you're a prostitute or you're a sex worker, that you don't have the ability to deny or turn down somebody's sexual advances. So I do want to put that out there that sex workers are owed consent too. A sex worker can tell you, no, I don't want to fuck you, and that's it. Like nobody's entitled to anybody's body, even if you are a sex worker.
We have Patrice back. Let her please time on this, please.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I can't hear her.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Let me see. Go ahead, Patrice.
So, as far as women and slut shaming go, you will see it. You have seen it. It goes right along with sexual harassment and inappropriate comments that all men, well, not all men, but a lot of men and boys think is okay, feel like it's their place to do. Um, for some reason in our society, men have taken on the roles of being in charge of women. This is something that you'll see prevalent in most societies that I've seen, except for Samoans. Samoans are the only modern society that I've seen that is a matriarchal society. Since men are used to being in charge of women's bodies, when women don't do what men want them to do or what they should do, then it becomes a control issue, and then you have the shaming. And that's sad. because it takes the ability of women to be sexual objects and to enjoy sex away.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the reasons why you have so many women that are unfulfilled, that are miserable, that don't like to have sex.
I think this comment as well goes along with what we're talking about in regards to if someone heard of a female's body count or or practicing sex work or just her clothes, then they see that it's okay or that she is a slut. I do think even so. I'm going to say this because we talked about homosexuality and we talked about how gay men and things like that. How I mean, it's a thing there. But at the end of the day, I do feel like women have it 20,000 times harder when it comes down to being slut shamed because their body count or them consistent or them containing or them being a virgin is so important at the time of at that time frame that they're looked at as being dirty if they have had multiple sex partners, if they body count is as equal as a man is, she's a slut. So Patrice, you frozen again, or are we good?
Oh, I'm okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you.
I still can't hear, but I don't know what's going on.
It's a little light. Kwashi said people would slut shame you for being attractive. Yes, they would. Yes, they would.
So
Especially if they couldn't get with you.
I want to speak on that because I definitely understand when I made a post about that too. I was like, it's hard, it's sad now in today's time that you can't even be an attractive person and not have someone judge you based off of just your looks. As soon as someone meets you, they're like, "Oh, I know you too cute. I know you got hoes. I know you got people in your inbox. I know you got this." It's like, girl, my inbox is dry. Like, what are you talking about? Like, my looks are just my looks. That's just it. Like, you a hoe because all of a sudden you cute, or you post a picture or a video with your shirt off and you showing your chest. Now you a hoe, you a slut, you got all these names called. Like, it's too judgmental. I don't like that. Quan said preach.
Yeah.
I feel like in the future, our opinions and our views about sex are going to shift. We're living in my generation, we're living in a culture where sex is like, it's open. It's out now. Everybody has an OnlyFans. Like, it's this, and it's not, and I'm not saying that to be a bad thing. I'm saying like we should view sex as something that's seen as pleasurable, something that anybody can do with whoever they want to, that they consent to. We shouldn't be looking at sex like I own you, and if you have sex with somebody else, then you lost your value.
All of that comes back to that.
What's wrong with OnlyFans?
Nothing. Ain't nothing wrong. Shut up. Ain't nothing wrong with OnlyFans.
Just saying.
Ain't nothing wrong with OnlyFans. We love OnlyFans over here, honey.
Or because you don't get them the chance. That's true.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Lord.
Okay. Listen. What's wrong with OnlyFans? Somebody said, "What's wrong with OnlyFans?" Hell, he brought a car with it, a whole car. Ain't nothing wrong with OnlyFans.
Ain't nothing wrong with OnlyFans.
Ain't nobody mad.
That's people get slut shamed for having an OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's right, and there's nothing wrong with having an OnlyFans at all. Nothing wrong with having
OnlyFans. They're pleasuring themselves. They just on camera doing it. I mean, you do have couples and people that do things on camera, but most of the ones that I've seen is they're solo and then they really make the money they're by themselves.
But that's why I bring up that question of inviting people in your bedroom, because there's a couple of their boyfriends, but his boyfriend does OnlyFans and he has sex with other people, and I'm like, is your partner really comfortable with you doing that? Like, would you be comfortable with your partner having OnlyFans but they have other partners?
No, yeah. What you say, Patrice? I'm sorry.
What you say, Patrice?
I said they already doing that before they started dating.
Yes.
And that was on him. He made that choice.
That's correct.
That's correct. He made that choice.
I can't hear her.
Oh, what she said was if the person that you're dating was doing OnlyFans before you guys became exclusive, that's on you.
Period. You better say that. You better preach.
Quan said a car. I'm about to create me on OnlyFans. I'm about to be right along with you.
OnlyFans buy you a car. OnlyFans take you on a trip. OnlyFans pay your rent.
Right.
The ones that's promoting doing it right, yeah, they got bank. Even if Safari and Erica can do it, they celebrities, and they still made an OnlyFans. They got money, supposed to.
That's right. So, we are definitely over our time today, but the content of the conversation was great. I love the different views that we talked about and that we had today. I do know that we're gonna have to come back and do another one about slut shaming and to really dive into that. And not slut shaming, I'm sorry, rape culture, and dive into that, how it affects both communities, heterosexual and homosexual. I definitely want to dive into that and kind of get into the ideology of what it looked like, how it looked, and things like that, and how it has affected you personally. But so before we close and before you guys click off the screen because y'all really do that. Y'all do that really fast.
Wait, you talking about what they want to talk about, baby? They're gonna click off.
Right. I wanted to remind you guys that we are from Rain. It is a organization that allows people to live fully with or without HIV. That is part of our mission statement. Right now we have a campaign that is going on. The AIDS Walk, it takes place every May. Typically, it's always the first Saturday of May. However, this time, because of the pandemic, we are expanding out the reach for the whole month of May. So you are able to go out and walk and record yourself and take pictures of you walking to support somebody that is living with HIV or support somebody that have died of HIV complications. So that is the little ways that you guys can kind of be involved inside of that walk. Me, Patrice, and Bryce, and Shawn will also be posting on our page separately and regarding the focus groups that I was talking about earlier. I do want to reiterate to you that those focus groups are for you, Black gay men, to come and have a seat at the table to make interventions that work for us. Historically, these interventions were created by white people and trying to gauge what worked for us and what that looks like. Now we have the opportunity to kind of really dig deep and figure out what works for our own community. So I definitely want to challenge you guys to come and sit at the table with me and have that conversation. It will be done virtually, of course, through Zoom. So I just want to kind of get that out, but you kind of get that on our flyer. On the flip side of that, if you are currently on PrEP, we want to know why and how that is working for you. So that kind of gives you the opportunity to kind of tell us, your experience, why it's working, what motivates you to take it, why, how your family's reacting to it. We want to kind of know exactly what works for you so that we can kind of use that, share that, and create interventions for other people so that they can kind of, so it can kind of work for them as well. So please be engaged and be ready to kind of have a conversation with us. If you have any questions, definitely you can inbox myself, you can inbox Shawn, you can inbox Patrice and Bryce. And we're going to go ahead and close out. I'm going to start the closing with myself. My name is Jonathan. I am the retention specialist here at Rain. I go out into the community and I find individuals that are positive and I get them back into care. I case manage that individual for a full year, creating a curriculum that's fit for them and that particular population, allowing them to kind of self-engage in their care, training them to be back into traditional case management. So my reaction is not my transaction with that client is not business related. I'm more so coming to you as a friend, as a peer. Hey, what's going on? What's up with you? Where you at? How you looking? Why you ain't make a doctor's appointment today? Let me come get your ass. Like, it's very much of a friendship conversation as opposed to me sitting behind the desk talking to you that way. So I want to try to engage you in your own care and bring it to a head so that you can be engaging as possible with me as I am with you. Bryce, you can go next.
Hey everybody. My name is Bryce Curry, and I also the second half of Johnny. So we have the same position. I find people who are positive, and I help them get re-engaged in care. I basically hold their hand. I'm here as your friend and your support as we navigate your HIV care. But I also help you with other challenges you have in life, such as transportation, rental assistance. I help you get food, whatever you need that will help you engage in your care. I'm here for you to support you and guide you.
Shawn.
And hi, everyone. Y'all already know what my name is Shawn, aka Buddha. You mostly already know me. If not, the information is below. But I am the peer outreach specialist with here with Raining with Crew. So pretty much, I just specialize in dealing with harm reduction as that relates to substance use. What that pretty much looks like. If you are currently using any drugs, alcohol, weed, marijuana, anything of that sort, you're in the process of using right now. We do not ask you to stop. We are working with you towards a plan. We have a safe building that you are allowed to come in when things open back up. We don't do any drug testing. So we basically just want to help you live a long and successful life, but also just doing it in the correct way and just standing by your side while you go through this or where you're trying to get out of the situation that you may be in. So if you're looking for any help dealing with that, feel free to inbox me. I already have a group already that's on Facebook. I'm talking to a couple people that's already open and willing to talk about drug use. Feel free to hit me up. I do no judging at all. I'm one myself. I used to use. So feel free to talk to me and we can have this open discussion and we can talk about it.
Patrice, if you can be so kindly.
My name is Patrice. I am a prep prevention case manager. I go out into the community and I have conversations with people about the sexual behavior as well as relationships. I also have condoms, lube, and Plan B just to encourage people to be proactive in their sexual lives. Something that happens. I
All
also
right.
be a program that helps them get onto PrEP without any out of pocket or very little out of pocket costs.
Okay. So if you guys didn't catch that, I know her phone was a little choppy. She is our prep case manager. She go out and goes out into the community to try to get people engaged in prep, no matter what demographic you are, whether you black, white, Hispanic, female, male, it does not matter. She caters to all. And if you are uninsured and you cannot maybe cannot afford prep, she do have can get you into programs that can I'm sorry, my son. Okay, she can get you into programs or get you or show you avenues to let you know that you can also get prep inside of your home and your system as well. So if you don't have any questions at all, if you do have any questions, I'm sorry, feel free to inbox all of us, one of us, all of us, don't matter, and ask those questions. If those questions we see fit to kind of answer those to you personally, we may actually bring them on the next live that we do to kind of spark the conversation. So thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate it, and you have a nice one. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. And I got my eye on you and me.